Have you ever thought you would be happier if you worked your dream job or turned your hobby into your career? As a self-employed creative for the last few years, if you were to ask me if you'd be happier doing what you love, I would say it depends on one thing. And by the end of this video, you'll know what that one thing is, and most importantly, how to be happier whether you're in your dream situation or not. This is Medium Well, where we're doing okay, but we can do a little bit better. I'm Dejan. Let's get into it.
Medium rare on one side, we have 4 medium rare. 4 medium rare.
Wait, what do you say? Medium rare or medium well?
Medium rare.
So I'm going to start this off by telling you guys an interesting story. A few years ago, I got pretty close to some people that came from cultures where arranged marriage was normal. Now, when they told me about the experience of arranged marriage, I thought I was going to hear stories of misery and just unhappiness. But what I heard was actually stories of harmony and people kind of living a fulfilling life, which was, surprising to me as an American. And it got me thinking, in America, a lot of marriages actually end. About half of them end, and there's a lot of people unhappy. And it had me thinking, why is that? Why does it sound like arranged marriages in a lot of cases have a better outcome than what I call love marriages? I had a hunch that it probably had something to do with perspective, but I wanted to do some research and figure out if there's any studies run on this topic. Obviously, the stats for love marriages in America is around 40 to 50% of them end in divorce. Now compare that to arranged marriages, only around 2 to 5% end in divorce. Now I know we're thinking, cultural pressure probably keeps people around, and you're right, but that begs the question, are they happier in these arranged marriages? And this is where it gets interesting. In a study in 1982 run in India, it showed that love marriages start with high amounts of happiness and satisfaction and decrease over time, while arranged marriages start with low amounts of satisfaction and happiness and increase over time. What's interesting is the study said around the 5-year mark, both a love marriage and arranged marriage has around the same level of happiness, but a love marriage is declining while arranged marriage increases. And after a few years after that, arranged marriages reported a higher level of happiness than love marriages. Also, obviously, a lot of the love marriages just ended, so there's no more happiness to have in a divorce. In 2013, there was another study run to see if those claims were still true, and it was. It actually confirmed that arranged marriages increase in romantic love over time due to stability, due to reliability, vulnerability, and shared experience. So this got me thinking. It seems like the difference between if you're happy and if you're not is perspective and expectations. Now, why did I tell this story? Because this is very similar to a career. There's a very popular saying that I've heard a lot of times and I don't agree with. That saying is, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Now, I disagree wholeheartedly. If I speak for myself, I've been able to work with dream clients like Adidas, Under Armour, Pharrell, Big Sean, all different types of things that I've always wanted to do. But times, like I said before, it's tough. There's times where it's not fun. There's a lot of days where it feels like work. There's a lot of tedious work. There's contracts. There's clients that are difficult. There's days of travel when I'd rather be home. There's a lot of things that is absolutely work, right? And I think a lot of people, when they get to doing something that they thought they would love or they turn their passion into, a career, have the wrong mentality about it. They think that it's going to be all fun. It's going to be all smooth. There's not going to be times where there's struggle. There's not going to be times where there's pain at some points. And this sets people up for failure, quite honestly. And people start to think this is the wrong thing for them. They start to think, maybe this isn't what I wanted to do. They start to second guess themselves. Meanwhile, I'm sure we all know of a bus driver going up or a mailman that always had a smile on their face, or these people that are working jobs that are not necessarily, obviously, not what they thought about growing up that they wanted to be, but they're happy. And we can even think of our grandparents or our people that came before us in our families that they did not live out their dreams. Especially as a Black person, my ancestors were in survival mode, yet they have a lot of joy, even compared to where I see myself today. And you can ask yourself, why is that? Well, it's perspective and expectation. So that begs the question, does that mean that doing what you love sets you up for sadness and disappointment? And does doing what's practical set you up for pure happiness? The answer to both those questions is no, but there is lessons in both situations that can help us understand how expectation shapes our reality. So let's get to our questions. Would doing what you love make you happier? It definitely can. And the way that it can is understanding that the high highs of your career will be the highest doing what you love. So for me, the days I feel fulfilled, the days I feel alignment, the days I get to do the thing I love and I get to change people's lives, I get to meet cool people and I get to be creative, I realize on that times I am super blessed to do what I do. There's nothing else that I would want to be doing right now. So number one is understanding that if you love something, the best days are going to be the best that you can ever have, really. But to set yourself up for success, you have to understand there will be hard days. There will be things that are annoying, things that are hard, things that are painful, things that are frustrating. And as long as you understand that, you won't go into it thinking everything's just going to be rainbows and sunshine and then find yourself disappointed when it's not. Connected it back to marriage, the reason why a lot of love marriages fail in Western culture is because of expectation. A lot of times we get into relationships thinking, I really like this person. I'm really attracted to this person. This is the best person ever. Life's going to be just splendid. And it is. The highs are great. But there's going to be times where that love relationship is going to be the hardest relationship you've ever been in. You're going to have to do the most self-reflection. You're going to have to do the most self-development. You're going to have to take a lot more accountability than you ever had. You're going to have to compromise. And so being in these situations, you have to understand that that's coming. And when you do understand that that's coming, when those hard days hit, or when that compromise doesn't feel as great as you want it to be, or when you're sitting there and you're frustrated with your partner, or you're frustrated with the things you've had to give up, or you're frustrated with the trauma you're having to address, you understand this. I should expect this. This is what's part of it. And so in that sense, you won't think this is the wrong person, the wrong relationship. I shouldn't have to do any of these things. It should be the honeymoon phase at all times, because it's not. The honeymoon phase is temporary. And that's the way it's supposed to be, because real partnership and real flourishing comes through going through hard things with people, going through hard things with yourself. Whether you're doing what you love in your career or in a relationship that's based on love, you have to understand that hard things will come, and love is not the absence of pain and absence of struggle. Now, on the flip side, how do people in these non-dream careers and in these arranged marriages find happiness? Well, they understand this isn't my dream. It's not supposed to be great all the time. It's going to be hard. I expected that. I expected for it to be hard. And actually, the flip side is happening. The human brain is thinking, this is not what I want to do, and I expect for it to be agony every day. And so when you come in, it's like, actually, in an arranged marriage, actually, this person, I can count on them. This person takes care of me. This person is stable. This person is loyal. It's like, I actually like this person. You're in a career that's not your dream. All you're expecting is a stable paycheck and a place to have a purpose. And that's what it gives you. And those people realize, I'm blessed to have a job. I'm blessed to have a paycheck. I'm blessed to provide for myself and for my family. So in that way, the expectation is helping them. And so whether you're doing your dream or not, you have to understand that there is no situation in life that won't have struggle. There is no situation in life that won't have hard days, because that's just the human experience. So if you're doing something that's a temporary gig, or you're doing something that's just a stepping stone, or you're doing something to get by in school or get by in life or to pay the bills, you will be a lot happier if you understand this is not here to fulfill all my wildest dreams and make me feel just the best I've ever felt. It's just a part of where you're at now and where you're trying to go. And on the flip side, if you're doing a dream job, or you're living out a dream that you used to want to have, you have to remember, I'm here because of the good things it's bringing me, and I feel blessed to do these good things, but also that the hard things are going to be there. So now when you go to any situation, you have this realistic understanding of what it is and what it is not giving me. And the fact of the matter is, if you're doing a passion or a hobby as a career, it's now not just a hobby. You have an obligation to holding up a standard of quality, of customer service. You now have to have repeatable systems that you can count on to deliver what your clients expect of you. And it's also not how you pay your bills. So it's not just for fun. You got to make money. So at the end of the day, the problem isn't struggle in any situation. It's the expectation that difficulty means you chose the wrong thing. Struggle doesn't mean that something is wrong. It's just basically the entry fee to living life, to living your dream, or to provide for yourself and your family. So just like an arranged marriage, when you don't expect things to be easy, you see progress as a win. And when you expect things to be easy, you see difficulty as a sign that you've done wrong. This is why there's successful people that you've seen that have all the things and they're negative and they're miserable and they don't feel fulfilled. And people say money doesn't buy happiness. And really they're saying success doesn't buy joy and peace, and it cannot override poor expectations and poor perspective. This is why we see happy mailmen and we see miserable celebrities. Good things will be hard and hard things can be good. So, would you be happier doing what you love? Absolutely, if you have the right mindset. I love what I do. I feel so blessed to be able to do it. And whenever I feel this struggle or I feel frustration, I have to remind myself 5 years ago, I would have killed to be doing this. And I have to remind myself there's other people that would kill to be doing this. And for that, I'm blessed. And I don't do this perfectly, but hopefully, if you're a person that is striving to achieve your dream, you remember this. If you're a person that's living your previous dream, you remember this. If you're a person that's in a situation that's not your dream, at the end of the day, when you stop expecting life to be easy and struggle-free, you'll appreciate what it actually is. I'm Dejan. Appreciate you guys watching. If you like this video, hit subscribe. I got more videos like this coming, man. I'm a yapper, and I'm going to be yapping for a long time. I appreciate y'all. Peace.